All right, folks, I know it seems like the world is on fire and peace on earth is more elusive than ever, but major conflicts might have to be fought to achieve that peace on earth. Geopolitical headlines, of course, point to a world that's seeking significant change, mostly against older regimes that have failed. Think about election outcomes recently in Latin America, the current push against the Ayatollah in Iran. Fewer people are really, covering and understand geopolitics, though, as much as my next guest. So we're lucky to bring in the face geopolitical strategist and founder Velina Tchakarova. And look, we've got to start with Iran, right? By the way, it used to have the biggest economy in the Middle East. Now, I've heard leaders in the region say that it's time to focus on prosperity. We've seen a lot of deals cut with the administration and these countries in the Middle East. They don't want endless wars. Iran seems to be the last man or country standing. Just your thoughts on what's happening there.
So what is President Trump doing right now when it comes to Iran? First and foremost, he's trying to help the Iranian people, the people who are on the streets, by increasing the pressure on the regime, while at the same time keeping the escalation controlled. So he's not looking for another war or regime change. That's important, but he's limiting the regime's room to maneuver. And you rightly pointed out, it's also about business. It's also about economics. So he keeps an economic exit ramp visible. He implied already that there are back-channel diplomacy communications right now being open between Iran and the US. That's important. And at the same time, I think that he would be offering some conditional economic relief and some credible post-crisis pathway for Iran to integrate it somehow into this regional network of partners and allies of the US. So all in all, any change that will happen in Iran must be Iranian-led. That's the message coming from President Trump. And at the same time, no regime change, no nation building as it used to be the foreign policy of U.S. in previous decades.
Right. Now, we're out of the business of trying to make every nation a democracy, an American-style democracy. But it seems to me that the people in Iran, the Iranian people and folks that I've been talking to were let down. They felt let down when Obama was in office. They had momentum. And at this time around, they expect a little bit of help or at least more encouragement to maybe get the freedoms that they once had.
Well, it will be, of course, up to the Iranian people. Any regime change that might happen in Iran will be induced by the actions of the Iranians on the ground. And President Trump made it very clear that he would consider even some sort of military strikes on the regime in the case of serious violations against the.
Let's move to Greenland, because I've been trying to get you for a couple of weeks now. You've been real busy. You're all over the place. Congratulations. What relationship should America ultimately settle for to make sure that Russia and China don't have any influence in Greenland?
So that's very important because Greenland is actually part of the Arctic, and that means by extension also part of the Western Hemisphere. And we got the idea about the Western Hemisphere and how important it is for American power projection with the case of Venezuela. So first and foremost, it means how to create a credible power projection in the Arctic, not just in Greenland and around Greenland. So that means, on the one hand, some sort of, I would guess, actually, some sort of a new defense pact between the US on one hand and Denmark, because it would actually open all doors for enhanced military presence in Greenland. But more important is actually the fact that there are other credible Arctic nations like Canada, but also the Northern European nations, which are staunch pro-American, which have been integrated already into different defense networks. When it comes to early warning, missile defense, space, undersea capabilities, the US is not able to project power on its own in the wider Arctic, so it will need, so to say, loyal partners. And I'll argue that we might see something like AUKUS-like defense pact for corridor control. And of course, third important point is mining, raw materials, access to rare earths. And this again necessitates a consortium-like initiative, something that we saw now with Pax Silica for the Silicon Corridor. So something similar might happen also in a way as a Northern Corridor together with US and European allies.
I've only got 30 seconds, but I got to squeeze in the notion. You mentioned this before. You reposted a post on this. The importance of winning the AI race with respect to the outcome of the current Cold War II.
Well, winning the AI race will actually determine the outcome of Cold War 2.0. It's a Cold War, let's say, second Cold War between America on the one hand and the Dragon Bear on the other. And AI is the game changer. It is not just about the technology race. It's also about military dominance, economic productivity, and defense capabilities. So it's winner takes all mentality, and we are already in the middle of it.
Yeah, I love that winner take all mentality. We better have it and we better get it. Velina, I wish we had more time. You've done a lot. You've written a lot. I appreciate it. Hopefully you can come back on soon. Thank you.